time to be shopping for a new calendar. I can't believe 2008 is almost over, but here is one that you could consider. It's called Hope in Shadows, and it's portraits of the downtown east side. It's a really interesting way that these photos were accumulated. Garvin Snyder has one of his photos in this 2009 calendar. This isn't it, but we'll show it to you in one sec. He's in studio now to tell us about how these photos were gathered and why it's so important to the people of the downtown east side. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
So what is Hope in Shadows about?
It's a chance for people of the downtown east side, homeless, low-income, marginalized people, to show our neighborhood through our eyes. In June, 200 black and white disposable cameras are distributed to low-income people, residents of the downtown east side. We have 3 days to snap our images, then we return the cameras. In July, the panel of professional photojournalists and judges narrowed those 4,000 images down to 40.
Right.
And then those 40 images are put on display at Carnegie at the Main and Hastings.
Yeah.
And we asked people of the neighborhood to vote and choose their 3 favorite. And that narrows the 40 down to the 13 that end up inside the calendar. 13 because it's a 13-month calendar. It starts in December, so you can hang it a month early. And it's really given a lot of pride and self-confidence to a lot of people in the neighborhood.
Right.
And it's helped to show that it's not all the negative stories that you hear in the downtown east side. There's a lot of beautiful people and a lot of beautiful things.
Well, let's take a look at some of these photos. This one is yours. This is, what month are you?
I'm March.
You're March. Okay, so this is the March photo.
Yeah.
And this is, he's actually an artist.
Yes. This gentleman's name is Andrew One. Andrew Owen is his real name,
yeah.
but he goes by Andrew One.
Okay.
And I've watched as he has used my neighborhood as his canvas. He does a lot of images that he posts up on walls throughout the neighborhood, and he does portraits of people. And so in June, when our cameras were distributed, I went and asked this gentleman if I could take his portrait using his technique, and you can see it came out quite well.
It did. It's excellent. So we'll take a look at some of the other ones while we talk about Hope in Shadows. And I think that the interesting thing that you touched on briefly, Garvin, is that there's so much more to the downtown east side than the news stories that, frankly, we put on global quite often, and that you hear on the radio and you read in the newspaper. There are real people with real lives that don't always have to do with poverty. They don't always have to do with drugs. I mean, this is a real community.
Every neighborhood has layers. Every neighborhood has wonderful layers. And ours just is maybe a little more concentrated than most, but it gives a chance to put a personal face back on the people that you see as... I live in a neighborhood, and I watch a lot of people drive through, and they tend to just think of what the stereotype of people that live down there.
And they're just driving through, they're not stopping.
And yeah, and this tends to give people the opportunity to put a more personal face on, and maybe that'll open them up to go and meet and talk with some of the people that are down there. And if that's the way to accomplish it, then it's done quite a bit.
This competition has been going on for a number of years, and you've been involved every single year. Yes,
it's been going for 6 years now, and this is my 6th year. This is my 4th picture within the competition. My 2nd in the calendar. I had a photo in the 2006 calendar, and it's afforded me the opportunity to now be the training manager. I now train a number of people in the neighborhood to go out and be their own micro businesses and to sell the calendars on the street. We have our badges, which are their licensing from the city of Vancouver. We have these wonderful hats.
Yeah.
We have courier bags that we get from a special news group in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So we're helping other groups now help us, so we're expanding out.
That's excellent.
So the whole project is now starting to expand and take on a life of its own, which is wonderful.
What do you want people to know? If there's one thing you could tell people, and I know you do it through your photography, but those who don't live on the downtown east side, those who only see it on the news, what do you want them to know about your community?
Is that we're all one bad experience, one experience away from being in that situation. And if I can keep that in people's mindset, maybe it'll connect us all. Maybe we'll all have, for the grace of God, that we're lucky to be blessed and have the blessings that we have, especially here on this Thanksgiving weekend.
Very well said. How do we get these calendars? Because I'm sure a lot of people will want
them. We have a number of vendors. We've already trained 50 vendors so far in this week. Last year we trained 195 people to go out and sell. You'll see a number of people out selling on the street throughout Vancouver, and they're in a number of retail stores. They're in Duffy Books, Book Warehouse, Capers Food Stores. The money raised from the retailers goes to pay it forward, pays for the contest for next year, so we can have a
Wonderful.
2010 calendar. But I encourage people to buy it from the street vendors because it's for them that this project has been put together.
Excellent. Garvin, thanks so much for coming in, and congratulations. Look forward to seeing what you produce next year.
Thank you.
Here's our